Hello everyone. So today we're going to have operations on algebraic expressions. No? So this will involve addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of rational algebraic expressions. No? So by the way, no, since rational algebraic expression is also a fraction, no, so what you need to do is to recall the operations on fractions, no. So prerequisite yun dito sa topic na to. So dapat you know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions, no, because that knowledge on fraction would help you applying those operations on rational algebraic expressions, no? So, kaya dapat alam natin, no, yung process, no, on how you do it, no? So, we have already discussed the operations on fractions. So, pwede nyo yung balikan yung mga videos about operations and fractions para maalala nyo, no, before you study about the operations on rational algebraic expressions. So, first, alalahanin natin ulit ano nga ba yung similar and dissimilar fractions, no? So, similar fractions, those who have common denominator, and dissimilar, no? Kapag magkakaiba yung denominator nila. So, I have here, so sets of fractions, no? So, I have 3 sets, no? So, for the first set, so obviously, these are similar, no, because they have common denominator, as well as the second set, so they are also similar. And for the last set, these are sets of dissimilar fractions, no, since they don't have common denominator, so dissimilar sila. So for our lesson objectives is students will be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide rational algebraic expressions, no? So, and also, students will be able to solve rational algebraic equations, no? Pero in this lesson, let's focus muna on operations on algebraic expression, on rational algebraic expression. Okay, so operations on rational algebraic expressions. So we know that rational algebraic expression, a ratio of two algebraic expressions, and can also be expressed as quotient of two algebraic expressions in the form P over Q, no? Where P and Q are both algebraic expression, and Q must not be equal to 0. So, kung may similar and dissimilar fraction, so syempre meron ding similar and dissimilar rational algebraic expression, no? So yung ray na yan, that means rational algebraic expression. So in identifying kung alin ang similar and dissimilar, it is the same on how you identify similar and dissimilar fractions. So you just have to look at the denominator. So if they have common denominator, then they are similar. Otherwise, they are dissimilar. No? So for example, so we have 2b and 3a over b. No? So these two fractions, they are similar. So obviously they are similar because they have common denominator, which is b. No? So next we have 2x over y and x over 2y. So this one is dissimilar, no? So paano sila naging dissimilar? Ma'am, pareho naman silang may y. So ito y lang, and the numerical coefficient is 1. And dito, 2y, the numerical coefficient is 2. And y and 2y are magkaiba yan, no? They are totally different, no? Kahit pareho pa sila ng variable, tapos magkaiba yung numerical coefficient nila, magkaiba sila ng value, no? So ito, 1y lang, ito 2y. So they are dissimilar. Next, this is similar. So obviously, no, they have common denominator, which is 2d. Next, they have common denominator, which is m plus 1. Therefore, this is also similar, no? And for this one, ito obviously na, no? So, p plus 2, ito p plus 3. So, that means they are dissimilar, no? Okay, so ganyan ang mag-identify whether the rational algebraic expression is similar or not. Oh? So, pareho lang on how we identify similar and dissimilar fraction. Okay? So, here are the rules on adding and subtracting rational algebraic expressions. No? So, actually, pareho lang 'to no? Sa rules on how you add and subtract fractions. No? Pareho lang sila ng rule. So, kaya kung alam mo na on how to add and subtract fractions, so malaking tulong yun, no? Para maintindihan mo on how to add and subtract rational algebraic expressions, no? So if the rational algebraic expressions are similar, so they have common denominator, then just like how we add similar fraction, you just add or subtract the numerator, then you just copy the denominator, no? And kapag naman sila ay dissimilar, so just like how we add dissimilar fraction, you get the LCD, no? Kasi ang goal natin is to make them similar so we can apply the adding and subtracting similar rational algebraic expression, no? And you can also apply yung ibang technique on how to add and subtract fraction dito sa how to add and subtract rational algebraic expressions, no? So, pwede rin namang mag-apply ng ganon. So, let's see. So, here we have 4 examples and let's try to answer it by applying addition and subtraction of these rational algebraic expressions, no? Okay, so for the first one, we have 2x squared over 3y. So, and we have 4x squared over 3y and they are being added, no? So, and obviously, no, they have common denominator. So, madali lang to, no? So, what you need to do is to add the numerator. So, we have 2x squared plus 4x squared, no? And then, all over 3y, no? And then, after you add, so, pagtas mo i-add yan, express as addition of the two numbers. So, tignan natin kung pwede natin silang pagsamahin, no? I-combine by means of addition. So, remember, in adding polynomials, you can only combine monomials that are like terms, no? Masasabi natin like terms sila if they have common variable with the common exponent, and which I think applies here because they have common denominator, they have common variable with the same exponent. So we can add now their numerical coefficient. So 2 plus 4, that is 6. Copy the variable 6x squared over 3y, no? But as you can see, no, hindi pa ito ang final answer, no? Why? Because 6 over 3 can be reduced to 3 over, 2 over, no? 2 over 1. So, pwede pa siyang i-reduce to 2 over 1, no? Because they are both divisible by 3. So, and then, since magkaiba naman yung variable, so you just copy, no? So, 2x squared over 1. And since 1 naman yung numerical coefficient sa ilalim, so pwede na nating tanggalin yan. So, our final answer would be 2x squared over y. So, that is the sum of the two given expressions. No? Okay. So, let's move on to the next example, no? So, here, meron naman tayong subtraction, no? So subtraction, so same then on how we subtract similar rational algebraic expression, similar fraction. So you just subtract the numerator and then just copy the denominator, so which is 7x. So you will have 2 over 7x, and that will be our final answer. No? Okay, next. So still, they are similar fraction. So apply the subtraction on the numerator. So we have 2 minus 2m all over 3 plus n. And then, tingnan mo kung pwede mo pang masimplify by combining the numbers. So, 2 minus 2m's, can we combine these two? So, no, hindi pwede because they are not like terms, no? So, hindi sila pwede i-combine. Therefore, that will be our final answer, no? Okay, so, and for the last one, for this slide, so we have 2 over x plus 3w over 2x. So, magkaiba na sila. No? Magkaiba na sila ng denominator. So, what you need to do is to get their LCD, no? So, hanapin muna natin yung LCD. So, ganun din sa fraction, no? Kapag kumukuha ka ng LCD, diba? You think of the least number which are divisible both by x and by 2x. So, ano kaya yung number na yun? So paano yan? May variable, no? May variable na. So, ano kaya, no? Kasi if you're going to think about the numerical coefficient, di ba 1 to, ito 2. So, syempre, unahin muna natin yung numerical coefficient. So, anong LCD, no? Between 2 and 1. So, that in that case, di ba, the LCD for the numerical coefficient would be 2, no? Kasi 1 naman yung kapartner niya. And so, we know that 2 is divisible by 1. And 2 is divisible by 2. So, how about the variable x, no? So, paano mo naman malalaman yung LCD niyan pagdating sa variable, no? So, ang technique lang dyan is tignan mo kung alin yung may mataas na exponent at yun ang kokopyahin mo, no? So, since pareho silang may x, so, syempre, x yung LCD. And then, tignan mo yung exponent. So, anong exponent nitong unang x? And then, yung exponent ng pangalawang x. So, as you can see dito, 1 na exponent niya, no? Yung pangalawang x, 1 lang din, no? So, therefore, yung LCD natin, 1 lang din ang exponent. So, that will be 2x, no? So, that now will be our new denominator, no? So, 2x. So, just like how we add, no, yung fraction by getting the LCD. So, first, you have to divide it by the denominator and then after, you multiply it by the numerator, no? So, 2x divided by x. So, this will be 2x divided by x. So, that will give you 2, no? So, that will be 2 and then multiply by 2. So, that will be 2 times 2. Copy the operation and then next 2x divided by 2x times 3w. So 2x divided by 2x is 1, no? Times 3w. So just copy 3w. Okay? So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3w all over 2x. So and we know 4 and 3w cannot be combined, no, by addition. So that will be our final answer, no? So that is how you add dissimilar fractions. So just like how we add dissimilar fraction, ganun din gagawin mo sa adding dissimilar rational algebraic expressions, no? You have to get the LCD first, no? So para yun ang maging common LCD nila. Okay? So let's have another set of example. So, gaya dito, 3b over a squared minus 1 over a. So, magkaiba sila ng denominator. Therefore, the first thing you have to do is to get their LCD. No? So, sa ilalim, parehong 1 ang numerical coefficient. No? So, walang iba, kundi ang given lang is a squared and saka a. So, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, so, since pareho silang may a, therefore, LCD natin is a. No? But the problem, anong exponent, no? So, gaya ng na-mention ko kanina, you just have to look at the exponent of the denominators, no? So, kung ano yung may mataas na exponent, yun yung kokopyahin natin. So, on the first given expression, the exponent of the denominator is squared. For the second expression, 1 lang yan, no? Automatic 1 lang yan. So, that means the exponent of our LCD must be 2, no? So, kinuha natin tong 2 na mataas na exponent ng denominator. So, LCD natin is a squared. So, same process. So, ganun ulit. So, for our new expression, our denominator is a squared, no? So, a squared divided by a squared times 3b. So, a squared divided by a squared is 1 times 3b. So, that will be 3b. Minus, so a squared divided by a. So, yung dalawang a, bawasan mo na isang a. So, a na lang, no? And then, times 1. So, 1 times a is a, no? So, that will be our final answer, no? Final answer na to kasi 3b and a are unlike terms. So, hindi sila pwedeng pagsamahin. So, that will be our final answer. Okay? So, ganyan lang, no, pagkuha ng LCD. So, kapag ganito ang given, no, pag monomial, no, madali lang kumuha ng LCD. So, gaya nito. So, let's have the next example. So, monomial lang din. So, madaling kuhanan ng LCD yan. So, what do you think is the LCD? No? So, we have 2 and 1 for the numerical coefficient. So, obviously, that will be 2. So, cube is the highest exponent, so that will be m cube. No? So, same process. So, our new denominator will be 2m cube. And then, so divide. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, m cube divided by m squared is m. So, times 5, no? So, 2m cube divided by 2m squared. So, makukuha mo yung m. So, times 5, you will have 5m. And then plus 2m cube. So, 2 divided by 1 is 2. So, and then m cube divided by m cube is 1. So, 2 na lang, no? So, 2 times 2. So, that will be 4, no? So, since 5m and 4 are hindi na pwede silang pagsamahin. So, that will be our final answer, no? So, 5m plus 4 all over 2m cubed, no? Now, paano naman kapag ganitong binomial na, no? Sa pag-binomial na medyo mahirap hanapan ng LCD, no? So, ang gawin na lang natin is yung isang technique on adding fractions, yung parang cross-multiply, no? So, ganito yon. So, si numerator, no, i-multiply kay denominator ng pangalawang expression. So, that will be 1 times h plus 2. Then, copy the operation plus. So, yung denominator sa numerator ng pangalawa. So, you will have h minus 2 times 2, no? All over, edi yung product ng dalawang to. So, that will be h minus 2 times h plus 2. So, then, let's simplify. So, 1 times h plus 2. So, still h plus 2. And then, 2 times h. So, distribute natin to, no? So, sa unang term, positive 2 times h. So, that will be plus 2h. And then, 2 times negative 2. So, that will be minus 4, no? So, all over h minus 2, h plus 2, no? Then, combine yung magkakaparehong term. So, we have h and 2h. So, that will be 3h. And then, positive 2 minus 4, that will be minus 2, no? All over. So, kung mapapansin nyo, di ba, ito ay sum and difference, no, of two numbers. So, which can also be expressed as the difference of two squares, no? So, that will be h squared minus 4, no? So, that will be our final answer, no? So, final answer na to since yung numerator ay hindi naman na mapa-factor. So, that will be our final answer, no? So, that's the other way, no? Especially when the given denominator is more than one term. So, you can apply this, no? Because this is a lot easier than getting the LCD of that two binomials, no? Okay. So, practice exercise, no? I'll give you siguro mga 1 minute. Since these are similar, so sige, try. Try mo ngang sagutan for 1 minute. Your time starts now. Okay, time's up. So let's see. So for the first one, we have 3 over z plus 4 over c. So similar sila. So you just add the numerator and then just copy the denominator, and that will give us 7 over z. And that's the final answer since the numerator and denominator have no common factor. So next we have 2 plus k over g minus 3k over g. So that will give us 2 plus k minus 3k, no? Over g. So combine like terms, so we can combine k and 3k. Since they are like terms, so just copy the 2 and then k minus 3k, so that is minus 2k over g, no? So, wala nang common factors in numerator and denominator. So, that will be our final answer. Okay? So, how about this? No? So, give it a try. 1 minute. Okay, so time's up. So, let's see. So, 2r over n plus 3 plus r over n minus 1. So, magkaiba sila, no? They are dissimilar fraction. So, let's do the butterfly method. So, we have, so 2r, so multiply sa denominator. So, we have n minus 1. And then, the operation plus. So, yung n, i-multiply kay 3 plus r, no? And then, all over, multiply yung dalawang denominator. So, that will be n times n minus 1. Okay? So, we have, so, distribute mo, no? Distribute mo to, no? Yung nasa labas, dito sa bawat term sa binomial. So, ganun din dito. I-distribute mo yung n sa bawat term na nasa loob ng parentheses as well as this one, no? Ganun din. Okay, so let's now have our final answer. So 2r times n, so that will be 2rn, no? And then 2r times negative 1, so that will be minus 2r. Next, so n times 3, so that will be plus 3n. and then n times r, so that will be Rn. And then all over, so n times n, so this is n squared, and then n times 1, so that will be n, so minus n. So, combine like terms, so ano yung mga like terms natin dyan? So, si 2Rn is similar with Rn. And then, yun lang, no? Yun lang yung magka-like terms. So, 2Rn plus Rn. So, di ba, laging may 1 yan nakasama pag walang numerical coefficient. So, that will be 3Rn. Then, just copy minus 2R plus 3n, no? And then, all over n squared minus n. And that will be our final answer. No? Okay, so, di ba ganun lang kadali? Madali lang yan. I know, kayang-kaya niyo yan. So, next, subtraction of two rational algebraic expressions. So, common to, no? Dissimilar sila. Similar sila because they have common denominator. So, madali lang to. So, we have 2m minus 5 all over copy the denominator, which is 3 plus n. So, pwede ba ibang combine si 2m and 5? So, hindi na, no? So, that will be our final answer. So, that's how easy it is, no? Kapag similar rational algebraic expressions, no? Okay, so let's have another example, no? So, for this one, sige, let me answer. Let me explain it to you. So, we have 2 over c squared plus 3 over c, no? So, obviously, the two fractions have monomial denominator. So, pwede na nating gawin is to get the LCD, no? So, we have to get the LCD. So, wala nang numerical coefficient. So, wala tayong problema sa numerical coefficient. So, the LCD, obviously, it should be c. Then, for the exponent, ano yung mataas na exponent? So, that is c squared. So, that will be our LCD. So, we now have our LCD, c squared. So, same process. So, divide and then times the numerator. So, c squared divided by c squared, that is 1. Times 2, you have 2. Plus, c squared divided by c. So, that will be c. And then times 3. You will have 3c, no? So, 2 plus 3c, pwede pa bang pagsamahin? So, hindi na, no? Kasi ito ay constant and then this one has a variable. So, they are not like terms. Therefore, that will be our final answer. Okay? So, for the next one, magkaiba na naman sila and they are binomial, no? So, pwede natin gamitin yung cross method dito, no? So, that will be a times x plus 1 and then minus, so minus yung operation natin. So, yung beta times x minus 1. No? So, b times x minus 1. And then, parang same lang to nung kanina, no? Nag-iba lang yung letter. And then, sa ilalim, so we have x minus 1 times x plus 1. No? The product of the denominators, no? So, ganun ulit. So, distribute, no? Didistribute lang natin yung nasa labas ng parenthesis, no? So, we can multiply it. So, itong A, i-multiply kay X, and then multiply kay 1. So, B, i-multiply kay X, and then multiply kay 1. No? Just be careful with the signs, no? Baka kasi dun kayo magkamali sa mga signs, no? Kung positive or negative. So, kaya titignan natin, no? So, A times X. So, that will be A times X, which is equal to AX, no? Diretso na natin. So, we have AX, A times 1, so positive A. Next, so minus to, no? So, B times X, so minus BX. And then, B times negative 1, so that is negative B, no? And negative, negative, so that will be plus B, no? Because we know that negative times negative is positive. So, we have the product of the sum and difference of two numbers, which can also be expressed as difference of two squares, no? So, square lang natin yung mga number. So, you have x squared minus 1. So, that's how we can express it, no? So, combine like terms. So, may like terms na tayo dito. So, parang wala, no? So, parang wala tayong like terms. Okay, so, if that's the case, so that will be our final answer. Okay, so that's it. So, that's how we add and subtract rational algebraic expression. Okay? Okay, now, so let's have the multiplication and division of rational algebraic expressions, no? So the rules are similar with multiplying and dividing fractions, no? So that means if we multiply rational algebraic expressions, so all we have to do is to multiply the numerator by numerator and then denominator by denominator. And for the division of rational algebraic expressions, so same as how we divide fractions, no? So you just copy the dividend, change the operations to multiplication, and then we get the reciprocal of the divisor, no? By interchanging the places of the numerator and the denominator. And then, of course, for us to arrive with the final answer, we must simplify it, no? If possible, no? We have to express our final answer in simplest form, no? So, ganun lang din. Okay? So, let's do it. So, here we have 5b over 3 times d over 10, no? So, just like I have mentioned, all you have to do is to multiply the numerator by the numerator. So, we have 5b times d over the denominator by the denominator, which is 3 times 10, no? So we have 5bd over 15, no? This is not yet the final answer, no? Why? Because itong 5 over 15 can still be reduced to 1/3, no? So, 1/3 yan eh, because 5 and 15 are both divisible by 5. So, that will be 1/3, no? And for the variable, so you just copy it since hindi naman natin siya masisimplify at wala silang kapares na denominator. And then here, so we have 1 here, no? Which can be omitted na, no? Pwede na natin tanggalin because automatically may 1 naman dyan sa taas, no? So therefore, our final answer is BD over 3, no? And that is the simplest form, no, of our answer. So next, we have 2x over 5 times 4x squared over 3. So same procedure. So we have 2x times 4x squared all over 5 times 3, no? So 2 times 4, so that is 8. X times x squared, so that will be x cubed, no? Over 15. So is this the final answer? Yes, no? Absolutely yes, because 8 and 15 don't have common factor. So yan ang ating final answer. Okay, for the next set of example, first we have 5b over a times 6a squared over 10b cubed, no? So same as procedure, so 5b times 6a squared over a times 10b cubed. So let's multiply the numerical coefficients. So we have 5 times 6, that will give us 30. B and A squared, so magkaiba. So just copy, no? In alphabetically order, no? And then A lang to. So we have 10 and then A, B, Q. And then we reduce, no? Yung common, ano niya, no? Factor. So, for example, so we have 30 over 10. 30 over 10 can be reduced to 3 over 1. So, tama, no? And then next, we have a squared over a. So, mas mataas yung exponent ng nasa numerator. So, that will be a, no? Kasi susubtract natin yung exponent. So, a raised to 2 minus 1. And then, for the next one, for b, mas mataas yung exponent sa denominator. So, sa denominator siya. And then, 3 minus 1. No? We have to subtract the exponents. No? And then, for our final answer, so that will be 3a over b squared. No? So, that's our final answer. Okay? So, now, how about division, no? So, gaya ng sabi ko, same procedure lang as how we divide fractions, no? So first is to copy. So copy. So we have 5 over A. And then, yung division, change, no? I-change natin siya to multiplication. So that will be times. And then, for this one, for the second fraction, so interchange the numerator and the denominator. And that is what we call getting the reciprocal. So from 3 over A, that will be A over 3, no? So, proceed to multiplication. You will have 5 times A all over A times 3, no? So, obviously, may common factor sila, no? So, pwede na nating i-cancel out, no? Which is A. So, pwede na, no? So, therefore, the final answer will be 5 over 3, no? Or also, you can write it as 1 and 2/3, no? 1 and 2/3. So, there you are. So, there you go. That's the final answer. And that is how you divide, no? Rational algebraic expressions. So, let's have another set of division. So, this is division, no? Okay, so we have m over 2 divided by 3m over 4. So, same procedure. So, first, we have to copy. So, we have m over 2. And then change the operation, so times, and then get the reciprocal. So from 3m over 4, that will be 4 over 3m. So then proceed to multiplication. So we have m times 4 all over 2 times 3m. So since these numbers are being multiplied to each other, so obviously may common factor sila na m. No? Pwede nang tanggalin. Or kung nalilito ka on alin yung dapat mo i-cancel, so ganito na lang gawin natin. I-multiply na lang natin, no? Tsaka ka mag-simplify. So m times 4 is 4m, 2 times 3 is 6m, no? And then saka mo i-simplify. So mapapansin mo si 4 over 6, diba? That can be expressed as 2 over 3. And then m over m, so pwede na i-cancel yan, no? So therefore, our final answer will be 2 over 3. Okay? And for the next one, so same procedure, copy. So we have 3 over y squared times y over 1, no? Kasi 1 over y is y over 1. So we have 3 times y over y squared, no? Kasi any number multiplied by 1, still that will be equal to that number. So we have 3y over y squared. So obviously, they have common factor which is y. So naka-square to ito 1. So mas mataasin na sa ilalim, no? So therefore, that will be 3 over y raised to 2 minus 1, which will give us the final answer as 3 over y. So yan na ngayon yung final answer. Okay? So try this one. So practice exercises. Do the multiplication and division of the given sets of rational algebraic expression. I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. Okay, so time's up. So let's have the first one. Okay, so let's have the first one. So we have, this would be 4 times 2, so 8. D times D, so this is D squared. No? Next, we have 8 times 2, so that is 2A, and 5 times 3, so that is 15. No common factor na, so that is the final answer. So next, 4 times 3 is 12 over 8 times m is 8m. But 12 and 8 have common factor, which is 4, no? So we can reduce this to 3 over 2 and then yung m, no? So that will be the final answer. Next, 5 over a divided by 5 over b. So let's write the new equation. So 5 over a times b over 5, which will give us 5b over 5a. May common factor, no? So pwedeng cancel. So this will be b over a, and that is the final answer. And for the last one, so let's rewrite. So n squared over 3 to multiplication. So we have 9 over n. So let's now multiply. No? So we have 9n squared over 3n. So obviously 9 and 3, that can be reduced to 3 over 1. And n squared over n, so that will be n on the numerator, then subtract the exponent. So that will give us 3n. No? 1 lang kasi yung denominator. No? So, pwede nang tanggalin and express it as whole number. No? So, that is the final answer. No? Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for watching. So I hope no may natutunan po kayo about operations on rational algebraic expressions, no? Okay, so thank you everyone. God bless and stay healthy and safe as always. So goodbye.